rightly said, we have more than 13 banks. And that is different from the other micro level operators we have in the country. You see, there are various reasons why the emergence of so many banks. We think gone are those days when only a privileged few could bank. Now we're saying every individual, is just like whoever has an ID card should have a bank account. The simple reason is, as individuals, we have responsibilities. As individuals, collectively, we sort of administer the fiscal policies, although we have a regulator that is in charge of this. But you see, I would quote, there used to be a time when you can simply go into one Sarahule's house and count more than $1 million in cash before. But now we feel these things should be discouraged and everybody should bank. The number one reason is for security. You see, nobody is safe if you have bulks of money in your house. I could remember there was a time that one Sarahule lost his life in the Cantoras, and the simple reason for that was because the individual people knew, the thieves knew that he had a lot of money. The security personnel will tell you this. There is no security where you are holding bulks of money. And I think the number one reason is that people should opt for their personal securities. And that's why people should keep their monies in the banks. The other aspect of it, your money becomes safer. Your wealth becomes safer. And accountability is fostered. And banks could give out certain services, certain incentives that you would not get if your money is in your house. Accountability would come to play again. And you know, there is this syndrome that everybody wants to travel now. If you want to have a record from the bank, if you want to have a record from any financial institution, you must have an account in that bank. And you know, you see people asking for statements, for reference letters, and so on and so forth. You cannot have one if you don't have an account in the bank. And I think banking also helps somebody to inculcate the discipline of financial management in oneself. You see, if you have your money in your house or you have your money very close to you, financial discipline is not fostered anymore. Anytime you want to use your money, you use it. Whether you use it wisely or you don't use it wisely can never be known. But where you have your money saved somewhere different from your house, before going to the bank to make any withdrawals, you would first calculate what you need to spend out of that money. So you see, financial discipline will come to play. And I always say, save for the rainy day. Save for the rainy day, which brings us back to another aspect of another importance of saving money in the bank or having a bank account. You may not know what will befall you tomorrow. We have seen in some countries, if you are sick and you go to the hospital, the doctor will not even look at you. Even if you are to die there, the doctor will not look at you if you don't pay your fee. And you see, it's not every time that somebody has money. So the only time that you can be safe is, or you can be sure of having your medical attention, paying for your medical bills, for instance, is if you are sure that you have some money in the bank. And I would again quote, there was a time I used to convince people, especially parents, to start saving for their children. And one reason is we've seen that manifested in one of the embassies. Before, if you were to travel as a student, you could just go to your parent to provide you a bank statement. And now one of those institutions will tell you, no, we want an account in the student's own name. We have seen those old things happening. So this is now telling us whether you are a child, whether you are an adult, whether you are a grown-up, whether you are a male, whether you are a female, whether your financial capacities are lowered or whatever it is, you must have an account. So it's very important for all of us to have bank accounts.
Well, if you talk to some people, they say, look, the banks, they are more interested in people with money. And then for low-income earners, no, because, you know, for example, they make accessing loans extremely difficult for you. How true is that?
That's basically not true. What we will say is different financial institutions or different banks have set different criteria in giving out loans or giving out advances or giving out credit facilities. I will tell you, they have a governing body. Every institution would have a governing body that would determine what to look into before giving out loans or giving out overdrafts. And I would say this could be one of the reasons why some people tend to think that banks favor only the sort of the wealthy, at the detriment of the poor. Yes, in a sense, but let's also understand that if banks are to operate, they don't operate in a vacuum. They have their principles, they have their rules, and these are things that we have to follow. For instance, if the bank says before you give out a loan, there must be enough collateral, there must be security, and the regulators are insisting on that, we have to comply. So be it a rich person, be it a poor person, what we are saying is the banks have their set rules and they have their procedures. If anybody can go across these procedures, of course you are entitled to the facility you want to ask for.
Well, we have been hearing something like corporate responsibilities. Banks and financial institutions talks about it. What actually is corporate responsibility?
Corporate social responsibility, you call it. Others would say it's philanthropic. Others would say it's a good gesture. You see, what we believe in is every institution portrays itself within society to be generous enough within the community they operate, within the country, within the neighborhood, within society. You see, you owe something to those people. You owe something to government, you owe something to your workers, you owe something to the environment. You see, for instance, FIB would say, one day we would wake up and say, we want to clean the length and breadth of Kairaba Avenue. It's a corporate social responsibility because we feel a healthy environment would breed healthy workers. So corporate governance is very important. You see, it's like plowing back whatever you are making to society. It's society that is making you. It's society that is putting you into business. It's from society that you make your profits. And society includes government. Government is providing the security, stability of the country, security of the banks. All these things are being provided by government. And you name it. So it's not like you are not robbing. You are not getting from people and insisting that it's only you and your employees that should enjoy whatever you're making. So corporate citizenship simply means taking out of whatever you have to give back to the others, whether they are less privileged or not. You cannot say government is less privileged. Government can still support itself. But we are saying government cannot do all by itself. You understand? If we feel there is something in the health sector that we think we can do, we will contribute. That's corporate governance. And if we feel there are some destitute students that need assistance in one corner of society, we will come in and help them. If we feel there is a social menace about to happen and we can prevent it, we will come in as a bank and stop it from happening. It's corporate social responsibility. And I think it's very important, just like any other individual, as a corporate citizen, that institutions try to look into society and see where they can give a helping hand. It's all about governance. It's all about governance. So as a bank, First International Bank is always on the move, I know. And just like other banks, I have seen other banks doing certain things that are also worthy of emulation. So it's all about taking out of your resources and seeing where you think those resources could best benefit the other side of society. That's it.
Thank you very much. Any last word?
Thank you. Well, I would say my piece of advice would be to the general public that banking is no more a privilege, it is a necessity. People must understand that having a bank account is your own personal security. It's like taking care of your future needs.